everyone, welcome to Showanet Gaming News. Today in this video interview opportunity, we're joined by State Senator Brendan Crighton from Massachusetts. We're going to discuss the legalization of sports betting in the States. So, hello sir, how are you?
I'm great, thank you for having me on, I appreciate it.
Okay, so we'll start with our first question. You have recently refiled a sports betting proposal with the Senate. I was wondering if you could provide some details on the key topics covered by that piece of legislation. In which ways is this bill different from other sports betting proposals? And does it include online and mobile wagering?
Absolutely. So, sports betting in Massachusetts, like many states, is alive and well. But right now, it's done so through the illegal marketplace and also over our border in states like New Hampshire, New York, Rhode Island, soon likely Connecticut as well. So our goal here is to really create a regulated industry, bring consumers out of the shadows into a system that has strong consumer protections, and to also bring some much needed revenue to the state. Our approach in my bill, which is Senate Docket 177 right now, is to have a really flexible model in terms of who is allowed to earn a license. So we include our brick and mortar casinos as well as our slot parlors, also our horse racing and simulcast facilities. And the big part of it is obviously the mobile component. So we really create a level playing field for all of those potential licensees. We didn't want to pick winners and losers, and we feel that competition amongst these folks will spark innovation, creativity, and lead to a better product overall.
Okay, very good. Which do you think will be the benefits of a sports betting market for the states? What are your expectations in terms of the size of this market, tax revenue, and any other aspects you'd like to mention, considering the experience of other US states that have already legalized this activity?
Absolutely. So I think, the biggest beneficiaries will be consumers that will now have, an industry that falls under our Mass Gaming Commission, which has done a ton of great work in responsible betting, gaming, and having that oversight, preserving the integrity, and providing them with protections, I think is the biggest benefit. That being said, as a result of the pandemic, our economy, we're facing a lot of uncertainty in our economy right now, and a lot of unknowns out there. What we do know, though, is that Massachusetts residents will wager billions and millions of dollars outside of our state, whether offshore or over state lines this year. And a lot of that money could go to valuable programs to help our constituency overall. So our tax rate's at 15%, which is pretty modest and in the middle of the line compared to other states. We suspect, based on studies that have been done at that tax rate with the flexible model, that we would bring in over $60 million annually once the market matures a bit. I should also note that because of this fiscal uncertainty, we wanted to make sure that we had revenues coming in before bets even placed. So we have a pretty heavy license application fee at $10 million per operator. So that right off the bat, you're looking at, if we just use our existing entities that we have in Massachusetts, you're looking at $70 million before a bet is ever placed, which for all those folks out there hurting, whether you're small businesses, whether you're unemployed, our schools, we certainly see this as a valuable revenue source that we can put to good use.
Okay. A prior version of your bill passed the House but died in the Senate before the end of the last legislative session. I was wondering if you believe this time the bill is likely to pass, especially considering that Governor Baker has already expressed his support towards legalizing this activity.
Thank you. Yeah, it was the bill that passed the House was a different version from my bill. So there were parts of it that I would have voted against, quite frankly. But at the time, the reason the Senate, I believe, didn't take it up is that we were dealing with a pandemic. So at the time, we're getting calls from constituents that are unemployed, needing access to their benefits. We're getting calls from people worrying about evictions, being thrown out on the streets during a pandemic. calls from nursing home where, they had no personal protective equipment or very little, using trash bags to protect themselves. So, those calls were much more urgent for us as a body. So I don't think that, the action wasn't taken because, this isn't a sound policy, and that this isn't a policy that will bring a ton of benefits to the Commonwealth. I just think it was the timing of a pandemic. In any crisis, you have to prioritize what's most crucial to the preservation of life and public health. I do see us now having, the first bill I filed was 2 years ago. We've gone through a process already once with it. I think more and more folks are getting comfortable, more and more legislators are getting comfortable with the concept of sports betting. So I do see stronger chances this session. And it's great to have the governor on board. I do. Our bill is different in the sense that he does not allow for college sports. That is something I feel strongly needs to be a part of sports betting. If we want to lure people out of the black market into a regulated market, we can't take away one of the, really most attractive amenities of sports betting, which is those college games. We do provide an exemption for Massachusetts-based colleges, which many other states have taken a similar approach and has not hurt the overall product.
Very good. Lastly, I think you mentioned a little bit of that earlier, but do you believe this launch is key, or at least one of the keys that will help mitigate the financial impact of COVID-19 in the state?
I do. I mean, we need to have a larger conversation about revenue as a Commonwealth, and I believe we'll do that simultaneously. But this is, this isn't about raising people's taxes or modifying the tax code. This is about money that's just, being flushed down the toilet, quite frankly, or down the drain, and we're not realizing any benefit from it. And at the same time, putting our consumers, many folks in Massachusetts, we're a very passionate state in terms of our sports. Folks are betting and they have no protection. So it could definitely be part of the recovery, but even outside of the pandemic, I think this is a very sound policy and one that we can address in a responsible way.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you very much for joining us.